For the second time in a 5-day span, the Leopards are victorious. They prevail over LIU Brooklyn by a 69-53 score. We're now going to have a chance to hear from Kia Damon, the head coach, and the player of the game, Natalie Kucowski, as Alexa Ross has more.
What a win here at the Kirby Sports Center, number 2 for the Leopards. Coach, at your highest point, 19 points you were up, but it was a little slow of a start. What do you think changed for you guys throughout the course of the game?
Well, you know what? I thought we were getting good looks early in the first quarter. The ball just wasn't falling through the hoop for us, but I wanted to encourage the kids to keep shooting. I just said, hey, let's turn down the threes and let's take some layups because we do have a size advantage. And once we started making a few layups, that was the little juice we needed, and then you start to see the long shots start to fall.
And your freshmen really had a great game. Drew Freeland, Olivia Martino, and Natalie, they had a lot of them put up career numbers today. How have you seen them grow over their first 5 games?
Well, you know what? I'm on them. I'm on the whole team. But as freshmen, they have a great adjustment. Natalie in terms of being a center forward in the guards and just dealing with the level of pressure that you see at this level. But they're making good adjustments, and it's great that our upperclassmen help them along and really provide, leadership for them and to really try to help them with words of wisdom and words of advice to navigate some of the situations that they're seeing for the first time.
Thank you so much, Coach. No and our player of the game is Natalie Kucowski. Natalie, you put up a great game today. And as a freshman, what do you think is different? What is the pace of the game between high school and here?
So I think the main difference is the level of thinking that you have to do during the game. There's a lot of things going on, and you always have to be aware, and that's probably the hardest adjustment.
And seeing that you guys put up 19 points at your biggest gap, how are you able to help encourage your teammates?
I think we were all just working really well together, always making the extra pass. And once we got our transition going, that really ramped up our energy and really helped us to extend the lead and then keep it throughout the game.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Natalie. Guys, back to you.
And thank you very much. Great to hear from Kia Damon, second consecutive win. Great to hear from Natalie Kucowski. And as you saw there, the great day she had with 15 points, 7 of 15 shooting, 8 rebounds. Mike, Alexa hit the nail on the head with the way the freshmen have been playing. And I mentioned it a few times in terms of the ability of this team, all 10 players to score, and the bench scoring by the end, 35-3. I really like, first off, I like just hearing Coach Damon in postgame because I feel like I'm learning whenever she has something to say, and I think that is all rubbing off on this team because you have a great collection of coaches, a great collection of players who are student athletes, so just as people and as players, a great collection, and they're starting to figure it out here in Game 5. It's now the first winning streak of the season.
No, and that's going to be important for this team moving forward here is, you're getting the good play from the freshmen, and, and I echo your sentiments with Kia Damon. You could tell she is coming with a plan. She wants to execute this plan, and now for, Lafayette having won here in 2 straight games, and the way they came about playing today, even despite falling behind 10-3, the bench was huge, and you and I, we talked a lot about the depth. So, for the Leopards, there's certain things they do want to clean up a little bit, and, that's at times where, especially on defense, and, they still gave up 12 points off turnovers today, and that's something that they're going to have to focus on. I look at the 15 turnovers. I know LIU Brooklyn turned over 25 times, and those are areas that it's got to improve. But you know what, today, superb across the board, and even the shooting under 42%. But you know what, that'll get better once these players get a little bit more acclimated.
And here's the thing I think that is very important, especially college basketball level, in terms of a team finding ways to win differently. Anna Tazinski, the first 2 games, had 29 points, double figures each game, 5 of 5 shooting against Penn. I don't think there's going to be many times you say Anna Tazinski is your 10th leading scorer of the game, and you win by 16. It's not like she had a bad game by any stretch of the imagination as we see the highlights here. That just illustrates how this Leopards team had a complete effort today.
No, they did, and from the offensive side of the floor, their 2-3 zone was really effective, and I know LIU Brooklyn did get some shots, but it was like instances like there that Lafayette's going to have to clean up a little bit, and I'm sure for Coach Damon that's going to be an area, but they did a nice job with some takeaways here today, and even despite not completing the layup, but there were some chances that Lafayette earned some free throw opportunities. But you look at Denisha Petty Evans for LIU Brooklyn. She had a strong afternoon. And not only for her as well, too, but Jada Johnson with 18 points, Drew Winter with 15. Those three are really the core three for the Blackbirds. And then you look at the other side here with Drew Freeland, and then, of course, working inside with Natalie Kucowski. And how about Olivia Martino hitting some big three-point shots today? Martino going 4 of 5 from three-point land, and you see some of the other work inside, and Martino on the far side of the court working that perimeter. And she had gone on 2 straight possessions hitting three-point shots. I liked what Ellen Graham did off the bench today as well. Her 7 points, going 3 of 3 from the field. So every Leopard that got in today scored at least 3 points. And you know what, Adam? An all strong and collective effort. And, for the Leopards, hopefully they can carry some of that momentum into Cornell.
Yeah, a lot of good things here, as you'll see on the final stats. And, these are the basic things you see. And you kind of get that framework. I want to add in 26-10 advantage in the paint, 27-12 advantage points off turnovers, and then, of course, as mentioned, 35-3 in bench points. The points off turnovers we saw on Agnello having a bucket at the baseline, and then you saw the far wing three you mentioned from Martino. That tempo that Kia Damon wants off those misses, quickly setting up your shot. You have to be ready to receive that pass, take that shot. It's a big reason why at the half, both these teams were sub 30. All of a sudden, by the second half, the Leopards over 40% shooting, including 38.5% from 3.
No, and the final stats, they show it, and we breaking this all down, but I look at the turnovers, and that obviously really hurt LIU Brooklyn today. The efficiency, and you mentioned about wanting to be quick with being up tempo. Teams have a hard time guarding up tempo, so for Coach Damon and this Leopards coaching staff, they're going to still try to implement that moving forward. So, but all around, outstanding effort.
Yeah, so for the Leopards, it's looking a lot better as each game progresses, and now they are on a winning streak. And the individual leaders, you see Jada Johnson, 18 points, Natalie Kucowski, 15. Sammy Stippa has 14 assists in her last 2 games. Stippa and Tazinski today combined for 7 points, and yet the Leopards, again, they won by 16. Again, it wasn't that Stippa or Tazinski had bad offensive games. It was just the team. Everyone was willing to say, hey, look, if this is going to work, we'll find you. If it doesn't work for us individually, that's fine as long as it works for you. And this is by game 5. It's really starting to rapidly improve, and that's a good sign this early in the season.
No egos, and that's important. You have to think about the team first, yourself second, especially if you want to be successful in basketball. Look, the stars will always do star things, but when it comes to the role players, and we got a chance to meet some of these role players today for Lafayette, and it's only going to prove to be in a very exciting time here for the Leopards. But one final note for me on LIU Brooklyn, you look at what Jada Johnson did with those 18 points, and then the rebounds, tied at 6 here. Their effort was there today. They did not have a lackluster effort, and for them, well, they got a chance to head to nearby Newark, New Jersey to take on NJIT next Wednesday. So, for LIU, they're going to look to try to move ahead pretty quickly here, but for the Leopards, they're looking forward already to that Cornell matchup.
Yeah, they'll be playing Tuesday at Cornell, then they'll be playing Friday at Drexel. We'll mention their next home game momentarily, but the weekend's not over for Lafayette basketball, and if you're away with family during the Thanksgiving weekend, you can tune in for men's basketball tomorrow, as the Leopards are set to host St. Peter's College. Tip-off will be at 2 p.m. tomorrow right here on the Patriot League Network on Stadium. The next home game for Lafayette women's basketball will be from the Kirby Sports Center Wednesday, December 6th, part of a doubleheader against the Princeton Tigers. And that program for women's basketball has been very good under head coach Courtney Bengert, so that'll be definitely a litmus test type game among 2 mid-major programs and 2 of the best student-athlete conferences in the nation in terms of the Ivy League and, of course, the Patriot League. Well, that just about does it here for my partner, Mike Vantola, and our sideline reporter, Alexa Ross, and, of course, our director, Jake Zimmers. I am Adam Dobrovolsky, signing off here from the Kirby Sports Center, where the final score, Lafayette 69 LIU 53. This has been a production of the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Have a great Thanksgiving weekend, everybody.